All right, sorry about that. Guys on Instagram, I'm going to have to go through that all over again. All right, welcome, guys. On YouTube, Cherish, thank you so much. My top tier Patreon, special shout out to you. Thank you again for the way that you've supported me over the years. I certainly appreciate it. Cherish has put up all the information here for you as far as how you can take classes with us. If you'd like to take a class, I do offer live one-on-one classes on how to draw a caricature. So all you have to do is go to the information at ourarouserworld.com. During the stream, you're going to see me practice various faces. I'm going to be talking about my thought process, what I'm thinking as I'm going through the caricature. So hopefully that'll help you to understand how to draw it a little bit better. Let me see. Other than that, guys, if you wish to tip while we're on the stream because you feel like you've benefited from the information or you just like to support our ministry, Rouser World is a ministry, then you can do so through Super Chat. You can also do so through Cash App. If you guys are on Instagram, our Cash App is $Rouser World, which you're already on Rouser World, so you already know how you can do that. So we'll just put our Cash App here for you. And I'm not going to keep this up here, but in the event you want to use it, I'll put it up here from time to time. So you guys already have that information. Okay. All right. Let me see here. So what are we going to start off with today? Well, we're going to start off with, you guessed it, the bowl pie technique. And you're like, well, what the heck is the bowl pie technique? Well, this is a technique I came up with for drawing the mouth shape. And because it gives some artists the blues. But the good news about the bowl pie technique is that it's super easy to learn. All you have to do is like to eat pie, right? Everybody knows what a pie looks like. You can see this is a bowl and you can see this is a pie. Well, how does this relate to a mouth shape? Well, let's go to page 1. Okay? Well, first off, there are 2 major mouth shapes. Okay, one of them you see here, we have a bowl of I don't know what that is. I think that's rice. It might be some kimchi. I don't know what it is. And then this right here is just a regular a pie shape, okay? So just kind of put those pictures in your mind. Again, we're relating what we're trying to draw to something so that it'll make it easier to draw. Oh, thank you so much, Tammy. I appreciate you blessing us today with a tip. Man, thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you are amazing as well, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. So we got the 2 major mouth shapes, right? And now what we're going to do is go to the next shape and we're going to show you kind of how you use that, okay? So this is the bowl, right? And then you can see that the bowl translates into a mouth. So if I'm drawing a smiling shape like this, I might go, okay. Right? Okay. And then whatever my T shape is. Now, we won't get into the T shape yet or how to draw teeth. This is just to get into the outside shape of the mouth, okay? So this is how it works. Now here, you can see that I cut out a piece of the bowl. So now I'm using just the bottom of the bowl, right? So it kind of looks like a little banana shape, right? So now we're just doing like this. Okay. And then we have our third shape here, which is our upside down bowl, okay? So that means the bowl is nice and empty. You done ate all the food out of it. And now you've turned the bowl upside down and it's facing the table with nothing in it, okay? So you might draw something like this. Okay? So there are all different ways. Obviously, you can control the size of this. You can do the distance. You can all that kind of stuff. But the main thing is to learn how to draw that individual shape so that when you draw in relation to other shapes, let's say these are 2 eyes, since I know exactly what shape it is I want to draw, I can manipulate how far they are apart from each other. I can manipulate the size of them because I'm no longer overcome by the fear of not understanding how to draw what it is I want to draw. Okay, so this might be your eyes, right? And let's just say this is our nose shape right here, like a little kite, right? And then this might be, let's say what kind of shape we got. Let's say we got our bowl shape. So now let's say if we want to exaggerate the mouth, we can now go ahead and we can draw the mouth like that, right? If I want to do some other type of exaggeration, again, I can put my eyes all the way together. I can draw this shape here, right? And then I can make my bowl shape even bigger. But you have to understand what you want to do first. Okay, what you want to draw first before you can do these types of exaggerations, because then you'll get lost in, again, trying to figure out what it is versus how to put it. Okay? All right, so let's keep going here. Now, there are different ways that you can manipulate the shape, okay? So this is our bowl in the empty form, right? And then you can take it and manipulate the size of it, right? Like this. You can also manipulate the shape of the bowl. So you'll see here by the shaded in area that I've chosen to cut that part of the bowl out to create different looks that I want for my mouth shape. Okay? Like so. Okay? So down here we can do, okay, look at this bowl here. Then we got this bowl here. And then we got this bowl here. And then we got our teeth shape inside. Okay? Now this comes in very handy when you are drawing something like let's say you're drawing a child, right? Let me make sure that's not going to blow off my desk here. All right. So let's say we're drawing a child, all right? Or look, we want big eyes, right? We want a little nose. And let's say now we know how to draw that mouth. We're thinking, okay, this is just the side of the bowl. And he's doing like that. You see? So now you made an easy little distinction about how to draw a little mouth, the baby shapes, okay? If that makes sense to you. Am I explaining this correctly for you guys? Am I going too fast for you? All right. Hey, Josh, how are you today? Welcome, welcome. All right, let me see here. So we've done the shape. And then this is the pie shape, okay? So we went through the bowl shape. So you have a bowl-shaped mouth, and then you have a pie-shaped mouth. If you look at this pie right here, right, you'll see that this pie and how I translated it into a shape. So let me go ahead, and we're going to use our pie shape right here. All right. So let's see here. We got this. Watch this. See it now. Look at our pie. This is a pie. We're just going to draw it first. So first, you got to know how to draw a pie first. So let's draw a pie over here. Okay. So now, now that we know how to draw a pie, we can say, okay, look, we want to do, these are our eyes, and I'm just keeping these shapes simple. Let's stay with the same nose shape, but let's now take the top off of the pie, right? This part right up here, right? The yummy part, we're going to take that off. And we're going to do like this, watch. Okay, you see? And you got your yummy little pie shape right there. And then we just like darkening the sides over here. And we'll get into teeth and stuff later in time. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with information, okay? Because we're going to practice this actually on some people. All right, let me see here. So we already went over that. We can change, obviously, the bottom of the pie to be more like an acorn type of a shape. If you want, that's just an exception to the rule when your mouth is a little bit longer. What I do now, as a general practice though, I've started to draw my mouth where I start with the bottom of the bottom shape of the mouth first. So I'll make my however deep I want the shape first, and then I'll put the top of the pie, and then I'll put the shape in the middle. I find that just makes my shapes a little bit more lively, a little bit more smiley. You know what I mean? So that's how I do it. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next page here. All right. Hey, guys, what's going on? I see we got a lot of... Let me wave at some of you guys on Instagram over here. Waving at you. Hello. All right. Don't forget, guys, tips are awesome. If you decide to bless us today, man, with our ministry, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate you guys helping out. This is what we do 9 to 5. Me and my wife are caricature artists. We are artists at work, right? Okay, but not starving. You can see I'm not starving, right? I'm a starving artist, right? All right, now what is this? This is where I've taken the same pie shape, right? So remember, the pie is just a starting point. So you can use any part of the pie you want. So if you look here, I have the bottom. I took the yummy part of the pie off, and then I cut out this part, leaving me with this shape. I did it the same thing here. I took off this, leaving me with this shape. I took off this, leaving me with this shape. You get what I'm saying? So always think of the pie first and then take away what you don't want. And then the mouth becomes so much simpler to draw. Okay? So let's see here. Maybe we can practice that just a little bit. Let me put this paper over here. Okay, and we'll go with, first we'll practice doing the size of the mouth. So this might be a small pie, right? And this may be the next bigger pie, right? And the cool thing is, look at the way you can exaggerate this. You can go like this, look. You see? Okay, you can do all kinds of cool stuff, right? You can make it longer, right? You can make it super wide like this. I think I messed up there. Hold on. No, I didn't. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Right? You can make it super small or super wide. So let's go with super wide like this. Okay. And you can put some teeth in there. Right? Okay. So it's a very malleable, bendable type of a shape. Then down here again, you've seen how I just manipulated them. So I'm thinking about that pie, and I'm saying the side of the pie, bottom of the pie. Here I'm doing the top of the pie again, and I'm just doing it kind of in a rounder shape, right? And then here I'm doing it like that, and right, something like that. So it's all about what you're trying to do. You know, what expression that you want for your character. Okay? All right, so let's go to the next page here. Okay. Now, what does this mean here? What the heck did I come up with here? Okay. Oh, these are practice shapes. Okay. So this is like, I just made like a little table underneath the pie, right? And then I'll just show you different shapes that you can make based off of that same idea. Okay, and this is just kind of, you know what I mean? These are something that you can practice around with. If you guys have a screenshotter, you might want to I'll keep that there for a second. And you can screenshot that, and that might be some mouth shapes that you want to practice with. Okay. These are some more ones that you can practice with here. Okay. And then we have some more. Oh, we're already done. All right. So there it is. We have the bowl pie technique. Now, what can we do next? Well, we can find some faces, right? And we can practice from some faces. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I think the best way to do this, I could put them up here, which case you guys won't be able to see on Instagram. But if you guys want to see this part on, you're going to have to probably go to YouTube and check it out. All right, so let's see here. All right, let's look at, we're going to look up some smiling. We're going to go to Pinterest. That's where I get all my practice stuff from. I look all over smiling faces. Smiling face. All right. So let's look at, what does that mean? Can I just, oh, that means to download. Oh, okay. I don't want to do that. I want to just save it. Okay, I'm just going to download a couple of smiles here. Okay, hold on. I'm just downloading a couple. 3. We'll try 1, 2, 3. He got a big smile. 4. And yeah, we need some big smiles like this. Okay. Save. All right, hold on. Oh yes, by the way, guys. Oh, you didn't get the screenshot? Here, let me here you go, Tammy. Let me go back. All right. So here goes the practice shapes for you again for your screenshot. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. Let me know when you get a screenshot, Tammy. This way I'll know to turn the page so you can get the second one. And then I'm going to put these pictures up here on my screen. So let's see if we can't find those here. Let's look at, oh, I guess we could just go to the folder where we got them at. I think these are them here. Oh, okay. So we'll start with the first one here. Okay. So we're not going to do the whole caricature, but we're mostly concerned with the smile. I'm going to put it in relation to the nose and the eyes, but I want you to really grab hold to this idea that if you can't take your drawing and use simple shapes like these to draw them, then you're not going to be able to understand how to draw the caricature. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes easier when you know how to use these shapes to your advantage, because again, you can manipulate how far apart you're putting each shape, right? This shape is this far apart from that shape. But if you're confused about the shape inside of the picture, then how far apart you put them, that's two things you got to worry about. It's going to really slow you down. Okay, here's the second one right here for you to take a screenshot of. All right. So let's take out a piece of paper here. And I'm going to demonstrate for you how to, in fact, maybe I can do this for you. Hold on, for you guys on Instagram. I'll just take a quick picture of my screen over here. Nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. Okay, so that should be good for you guys. I'm trying to get that little box out of there. I don't know how I can do that, but I'm hoping you guys can see pretty well. I know it's a little glare right there. Let me see. Ah, there we go. What I'll have to do though, I have to stick something underneath there to keep it balanced like that. Oh, I know what I can use. I'll use this. And then I'll take it away once I'm done for you guys over. Oh, that's too much. Golly. Hold on. Hold on. What the heck? We'll just leave it like this, and then you guys can, I think you guys can kind of see what I'm, oh wait, this is what we'll do. I'm trying to rig it so that you guys can see. Okay, so everybody got a picture, right? All right, cool. All right, so I'm drawing her mouth, right? Let's look at our bowl pie technique, okay? So first things first, I'm going to draw let's just say I want this eye shape here. I think I would use, I think I'll use this shape here, just to keep it simple. Okay. I'm just keeping everything simple. Now watch this bowl pie technique. Now, I'm going to draw the bottom of the bowl first. Let's say I want to make it big. Okay. 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 Okay, so that might be how we would approach that mouth simply. Now, if you want to do something just real simple, you can just do this. Watch. Okay, so you see how simple that translates. When you understand this right here, you can change it. You know, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can make it a little bit thinner, like straighter up here if you want, depending on the angle of the mouth. Okay. But you just want to get how that mouth feels. Okay. Okay. Practice it again. If you just want to do the top of it like this, remember the bottom of it is like a pie. Then you can do like this. This is another way you can approach it, right? Okay. So just practice that over and over again until you get it right. That nose actually was not right on that one. I should have did more like this one, which is something I didn't learn today, huh? Okay. That's cool because I see the wings actually come above this line. Just something that I noticed when I was doing that. Okay. I'm always noticing stuff when I'm drawing, when I'm actually doing the drawing. Okay. So let me see here. You said, do you think it feels happy? I didn't understand your question, Tammy. All right, so let's go to our next mouth shape here. Yes, Stroke Art, I see you want to ask a question. Go ahead and ask away. And then I'll look. I'm looking at Instagram every now and then because my Instagram camera is kind of up here while everything. So I have to kind of lean over to look at it. So, oh yeah, for sure it does. It feels pretty. It feels pretty happy to me, I guess. Let's see what happens when we do it. We can do it in its entirety. So I like to look at what I like to do with my faces. Is I don't care what shape it is I'm drawing, right? I like to start from a shape and then work to the shape that I want to draw. So let's just say for this shape right here, I would do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would start with I'll start with this shape. And we'll get back into this mouth stuff in a minute here. more teeth, okay? So I'll take my pencil when I'm drawing live, and I'll start with my shape. However I want it, right? Watch. Okay? Now, I did the face because it's more... Now, watch what I'm going to do. Watch. I'm going to start cutting away stuff, right? So watch this. All right? I'm going to cut away... I'm going to cut away this. I'm going to cut away this. This is my cutaway. Okay? Now, watch when I draw the face. After I done cut everything away, watch what happens. Okay? Now, this little piece right here becomes a... What does it become? It becomes like a little... The inside part of my hair. And then this is like her afro kind of coming way out here. You see? I don't have enough room to get all that afro on there, right? But you get what I mean? And then this is my neck shape. Right? And then my shoulder shape, which is kind of like a I would make it come up here. Like that, right? Okay? So, and then we'll put our shapes. She's smiling. So I'm going to make her eyes get raised up really high in the head shape. I'm going to put her nose where I want it to be at. Right? And then you can see here kind of the angle of the shape. Right? Blah, 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 blah. Right? And then you can see the powerful smile. We can work from here. We can work to the bottom of the smile and come up like this. All right, if we want. Okay, and it's a nice little simple little cartoon. You see how I was able to work to my shape from a shape. So this is, to me, makes my life a lot easier. Right? I could have actually just drew two straight lines for her. I could have just drew her eyes with just two lines like this. You know? But anyway, I think that's a cool little cartoon of her. Okay. All right, let's see what that question was. Oh, can you do a small demonstration of a full face? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna do some full faces here in just a minute. So I was just showing you guys again how that mouth works in relation to the whole head shape and all that. Okay. All right. All right. So let me see here. Let's take this and put it in there, and let's go to our next phase. Okay. So we're gonna show you again how this mouth shape stuff's gonna work. Again, guys, man, thank you so much for your tips. Tips are appreciated. If you are benefiting from the stream today, you want to be a blessing to us, man. No better way to do it than to show some love, right? Use that super chat button or our Cash App. We already put that at the top of the screen for you guys on YouTube. For Instagram, it is $Rouser World. If you guys want to tip at the Cash App, that's our Cash App information there. Okay. All right. So let me see here. We're going to put this face away. We're going to do another face. So who's our second face? Who is this? Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to do this next face. So again, my go-to shape when I do faces is a lot of times I have different uses for different shapes, but I always start from some type of base shape to form my caricature. So whichever one you use is kind of up to you. These are generally the ones that are you going to be thinking about, and it's basically cutting away from or adding to your shape to make other shapes. Okay, and I'll show you. This works with 3/4 shapes. This works with whatever type of shape you want to use. Right. For instance, if you're drawing, let's just say you want to use this triangle, this square shape, okay? Because you feel like the person's head's pretty square. I'm gonna draw this picture in just a minute, but all right. So watch this. Let's say the person's at 3/4 view. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this out immediately. I don't need it. Okay. Then I'm gonna cut this part out because I don't need it. Okay. Put my chin shape here. I'm going to cut this out because I don't need it. Okay. Now you can see your ear shape, right? You can see your hair, right? You can see where your neck's supposed to go, right? You can see where your hair is supposed to go, right? You can see all of these shapes start to form right in front of your face because you used the shape and you took away from, like, carving. You know what I mean? Okay. So you're carving out your face, right? See? Here's our pie. Okay. Okay. We made a nice little face there, right? And we can, whatever you observe your person's face to be. Now, obviously, if you're drawing from a circle, well, you start with a circle. If I want to do a 3/4 view in a circle, watch. I'm going to cut out this. Okay, don't need it. I'll decide where I want my chin to be. I won't cut off anything on this side. I'll just add an ear shape here, right? And then I could just come like kind of straight down with it. Okay, this would be my forehead shape. And then if they got a, whatever, their hair is kind of curly, right? I'm just going to color over. Their hair is curly and it has all these little curls going out like this, right? And maybe they look, maybe they're looking this way over here, right? Okay. There goes that pie shape again. Okay. Maybe they got some shades on. Okay. Maybe he's a punk rocker, right? You see? So you can make all kinds of characters by doing it that way. Okay? All right, let me see here. All right, so we're going to go to the face that's on the screen. So we're going to use this same little technique, okay, to demonstrate that for you. Let me go ahead and actually take these out of the way. We don't need this mouth shape anymore. We already went through that, so hopefully everybody got their screenshot on. All right. And let me see. Maybe I can take a picture again of the face here for you guys on Instagram. Okay, got a good shot right there. All right, so this is what our picture looks like for you Instagrammers. I might need to, man, I wish I could block that light from hitting this camera the way it is. Yeah, I know you guys are having a rough go of it trying to see that picture. Wait. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about for you, for Instagram here. Maybe I can do it like that. Maybe if I here. There we go. I think I got a good one so that everybody can see, because on Instagram, on YouTube, you guys have that upper picture too, so you can see a lot better. All right, so let's go ahead and take these out of the way. You guys give me an okay on Instagram if you can see that picture. All right. Okay, so let's take this away here. And then we're going to go to our shapes. And we're going to figure out, well, what shape does she have pretty much? Well, that's not going to work. That won't work because she didn't have high cheekbones. This shape right here, possibility of it working. We possibly could use this shape. That shape is a no-go. This shape right here, possible. Definitely not. And her face is not round. So I would use one of these shapes. Now this shape right here will force me to go, okay, it's got because it's got my lights are above the screen, so it's kind of hard for me to adjust it. Okay, there we go. We should be able to do it like that. There we go. All right, we should be good to go. All right, so this shape right here may because she has those angles in her face here, here, and here, and here, and here, and here. I think I'm gonna go with this one here, okay? Because this one would make it super round. I don't know. We may be able to go with it, but I'm gonna go with this one here, okay? All right, so first things first, I want to get my shape down, but remember, any shape can be manipulated. Obviously, her face is not that wide, right? So as long as I have the designated number of sides, that's all I need. So watch, we go here, and then we're gonna go down. We're kind of judging how tall the shape is, right? And obviously, this can even be exaggerated. And I think we have the same number of sides here as we do here, right? So I just squeezed it in order to made it taller, okay? And this is what a caricaturist does. We just take basic shapes and we just change them up, right? Okay? Yeah, the hexagon shape always takes the gold. This one right here is so easy to help you with. It's insane. So now watch this. Let's go ahead and we're going to cut out what we don't need. So now we're looking at pure dead space, meaning that we're looking at the shape her skin makes in the picture. So watch this. We don't need this anymore. So I'm going to take it out. You know why? Because that's her hair. All of that's hair covering the face. This is her neck shape, right? And now all I have to do is put hair on it pretty much. Watch. You see? So look how fast we translated into this cartoon. Now all we have to do is soften these angles so that they don't look like hard angles. They look like soft angles. All right? So look at that. In seconds, right, we've already got her face down. And now we can see more easily where to put features, okay? Now, what I do with my pictures is I don't have to, when you draw live, the cool thing about drawing live is that you don't have to make it look like a portrait, or you don't have to make it look like the expression in this picture. So let's say I wanted to make her just with a big, nice, happy smile, okay? First thing I would do is something simple. Watch, let's just do a simple idea, okay? Okay? Watch. Okay? Oh, that might be a little bit big, but we're going to come back with our marker and go over our lines. Okay? Then we'll come back here. And now watch. All we got to do is do this. I'm gonna use a squeeze shape here. Okay, so we can see we went from, right, so easy, right? Now let's go ahead and do our line work with our marker. Okay. So this is how, because I draw a lot of times when I'm live, I draw without a marker or without a pencil, is because I'm thinking about these shape. I'm thinking about this idea underneath it. Okay. Yeah, Jason, I know you're saying here, you said you have a difficult time with line weights. I know what you meant. As I'm very heavy-handed. Huh, you don't get much more heavy-handed than this. I got like gorilla paws, right? So the way you do that, it's just consistent practice. Also, it's a lot about how you hold your pen, you know. So you have to find a position of the pen that works for you. Every artist, your hands going to be different. Your hands form different, but same. And but it's just a lot of repetitious practicing when it comes to that. Yeah, I believe it or not. And what's crazy is because I've always had very good. My mother even encouraged me that when I was younger, and a lot of people that I've met throughout life, my hands have always been very steady. Like my hands don't shake when I do stuff. Like I've always been good at I don't know, like precision stuff, cutting stuff, making straight lines, and So I tend to excel at stuff like drawing or anything that requires me to do a lot of this, or you know what I mean. So I don't know whether I think that's just a gift that God has kind of blessed me with. But at the same time, I do have to practice daily to learn how to use that. You know what I mean? So again, constant practice is what it's going to take. Okay, what kind of marker? What's the best marker for inking? Well, I'm going to tell you, there's really not. I'm going to tell you, I'm not a stickler for brands of stuff. Okay, because a lot of times, people will try to market you stuff that people will try to market you stuff that you don't really need. I use a very simple sheet of paper. I use an 18 by 12 sheet of paper when I'm drawing live, and then I use Crayola markers or something. I found these as a deal. They were similar to Crayola, and I think my wife saw them on a clearance at this place one day, and so she just bought me a ridiculous amount of markers, of boxes of markers. So I went through and took out the ones that I have, which now I have a box full of markers that I don't even use because I don't hardly ever use the colors unless I'm specifically doing color or something. But most people when I'm drawing live, they go for black and white, but sometimes they'll want color, It's one of those things. All right, let me see here. Oh, I'm doing great, Kel's World of Art. Thank you so much for asking. How are you today? All right, let me see. All right. Okay. So let's draw this picture here, guys. Again, I've shown you the framework. I showed you the shape that we started with. I showed you how to cut away from your shape. So remember, basic shape first. Say it with me or type it with me. Basic shape first. Then cut away what you don't want. And so when I'm drawing, my mind is translating that I'm drawing this shape. So watch my line motion as I'm going through this drawing. Okay, I want you to pay real close attention. Okay, now watch. Okay, look at my line motion. This is the same way I would draw it if I was live. Okay, watch. This is the same pattern I would take. Okay. Okay. Again, I use very general shapes for everything. I'm not into who's the best caricature artist thing. I don't copy other artists. I don't try to be them. If you draw a picture differently than me, have at it. I am not into that kind of stuff. I'm into that because I ain't gonna do nothing but confuse you because you're trying to copy something that doesn't naturally come from you. That's what makes us different. All right. So this is my line work. Okay. Okay. And I try to I just go with it, Right now, this music's really helping me too because it's really jazzy looking. It's jazzy music, right? Okay. Now, let me see here. I like to put a lot of eyelashes on mine. Let's do something like that, right? Okay. And I just made a quick little cartoon of her. This is what I think she would look like now over here. I might draw some little hairs, right? And I'll give her natural hairline. Okay. When you're done, if you're drawing live and you are using a pencil, remember the first shape that you should draw. I don't care what you see other artists do if you don't try to be them. I'm not even trying to turn you into me. I'm just trying to give you some stuff that will help you to discover your talent. Because how you manipulate these shapes is completely up to you. But if you don't know what shape to manipulate, you're going to be in big trouble when you get behind that board. This is where all that nervousness comes from. Of course, you're going to get nervous if you don't know what to do, right? You'll get nervous. So let's go ahead and just erase, right? And let's go with it. When I'm drawing, man, it's just me and this paper, man. It's me and the paper, I mean, just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Paper and I. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Can't be afraid. You got to be you, man. Life's too short. Just be yourself. Let me do this right here. Let me erase that right there. Okay. So yeah, we got a pretty cool little cartoon of her, right? And then I know it look kind of. Let me see here. So this is what we'll do. We'll add some shadows here. All right. I use these to help my. Now, of course, I'm also doing this to make it look like the picture itself, but I can always choose whatever emotion that I want in the picture, right? And you can too, right? Just a few lines here and there, right? You can get a lot of details with simple little shapes and ideas, right? And sometimes I like to combine. I actually prefer to draw my caricatures with Sharpies. I hardly ever use my Crayolas at work. I'm going to tell you why. Because sometimes when you draw with Crayolas, too, one of the things that happens to me is that sometimes I don't like how I don't like too much thickness in my line. I don't want to have to hide behind the line. You know what I mean? Sometimes you hide behind the line because it's the thickness of your line. So this produces a little bit of a different drawing. You know what I mean? So yeah. Sometimes I got a crap here. I hardly ever use erasers. So it's okay. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Jason. I appreciate you, man. You're awesome too, man. Thank you for being so engaging in the streams today. I like to draw with people. I feel like the only reason that we have, we're blessed with information is because that information is for us to share and make the generation better that's coming after us. You know what I mean? What can I do with this? What am I? I don't know. Now they got caricature artists in heaven. I'll be drawing people like with their wings on and stuff, right? That's where I'm going, right? Yeah. All right. But yeah, it's you can't take it with you. Wait a minute. I see something here. I forgot. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Again, guys, my name is Harry. Thank you for coming out to the stream. I'm a full-time caricature artist. Yeah, she needs some cheeks. Now, Tammy, now I did that. See there? But now I'm going to show you a different situation. Now, this is the way we drew her at first, right? But let's say we started with this, and this is the dilemma that I was having when I first started drawing the picture, okay? When you use this shape here, okay? When you use this, it's very important, like, which I didn't do in this picture. Let's put this one up here. Hold on. When you use this shape, let's put that over here. When you use this shape, it's very important that you do stuff like this. So watch how I do this. Now I'm just gonna draw the picture. Now remember, I already showed you this, so watch this. Watch this. So now I'm gonna draw the shape here. When I'm drawing live, okay, the reason that your drawings are gonna come out different when you draw live or when you use no pencils versus a marker is because you're not trying to stay in the lines. When you see a line on the paper, by nature, like I used to drive like that sometime. I would be going down the street and I would be looking at the lines in the road instead of driving by taking in the entire experience. I'm driving looking at lines in the road. So that made me a terrible driver, right? You get in an accident like that. So when you use sketch lines, you should try, your goal should be to try to use your mind to see the lines and don't use the pencil. So at first, use pencil, that's cool, but try to do it in your mind. Okay, so I'm seeing this shape in my mind. Now watch how I put it together. Okay, I'm seeing the shape in my mind. So it causes me, number one, to use a lot less thought process. I'm just going with it. Watch. And this is my natural, this is what I use when I'm at work. This is my natural line work. This is my natural tendency. Okay? 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 Same shape. I'm seeing the sides. Two shape sides here. two sides here, long sides, up and bottom shape, right? And it makes now I can add my cheek shapes in, but the line doesn't look so mechanical to me because I'm thinking I can manipulate this shape any way that I want to. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, Kel's World of Art. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll see you later now. Okay. So then I'll come back. Boom. Now, if you want to do some colors or whatever, you know, you can do some colors. Matter of fact, let's go here. Got some colors for you. So let's go here with a couple of colors here. I got some peach. We're gonna definitely need some pink. Maybe some yellow for the hair, and a little bit of this brown here. I think those are the only colors you'll really need. I might use that one too. Let's put this back. Okay, same thing here. So for her skin color, I might start off with this peach color right here, right? So I'll make sure your pencil's real sharp, right? And it shouldn't take you long to color. You start putting your your basic lines down, right? Doesn't take long. Okay. Okay. Just like that. So this might be like my first layer. This is that peach color. Okay. So we'll do like that. Kind of scribble over it a little bit. Let's press a little hard there. I always color from the side because, again, my hand is a little heavy too. But this right here has a little bit more red in it, right? It's like a peach. So it's gonna, when you mix these together, right? You get that peach kind of a look that you're looking for, right? All right. Put some right here. Around to it. All right. So don't take long at all. You have to learn how to be instinctual with this. This is not, I don't be thinking, I just kind of go with it. You know? Learning how to color things of dimension really will help you with this particular type of art. Okay, now we might come back, and sometimes when I'm at work, I got a pink right here. I can use it. Here, I got this pink, right? So sometimes what I'll do, I don't want to use that one. That might be a bit powerful. Let's see. I guess I could still use it. Let's see. Something like that. And we'll come back with some, I don't know, she got some brown eyes. Let's color this in brown right here. Right? Like that. And let's put a little bit of shadow underneath the nose shape. Right? Cool thing about color pencils, once you put a layer down, it mixes with that layer underneath it. So I can create my shadows really easily. Let's go here. See? Creating some shadow right there, right? Might create a little shadow right here. Again, I'm coloring from the side of my pencil. Something like that, right? Now, let's go ahead and go to the hair. So we got some blonde hair, right? So I don't waste no time when I do the hair. I find my light zones. Watch how I'm skipping in between each light source. Okay, see how I skip? Then I do it over here again. I ain't coloring on a flat surface, and I know that when I'm coloring. Okay. Now, once I do that, okay, then I could come back with like this color here. This is like a, what is this? A deep medium almond. Oh, you know what the color, you know what pencils these are? These are actually, excuse me. Okay, so these are actually Crayola, the World of Colors. I don't know if you guys seen the World of Colors pencils. That's exactly what I'm coloring with. But they are made by Crayola. If you ever go to any kids section in the store, you'll see them. Now watch this. I could come back, and in the middle of that shape, right, I add a little bit of brown, right? In between only in the color zones though. Okay, and then I might do the eyebrows in dark here. I might darken those in a little bit. Right? Okay. And pretty much we'll be done. Now down here, what I might do is I might go dark next to the head shape. Right? To cause it to look like a little bit more contoured, right? Now, if I want to add lines and all that, I do all that last. So you can do this. Watch. Now, this is the only time you're allowed to use this to go into the light zone. So I don't ever touch my light zones until I get to the end. In which case, I want to do something like this to give my hair some direction. And then I'm using it real light. And it'll automatically go lighter in the spots where, right? And you can just do something like this. We can come back with it, and you can do this, right? Watch. This is how you want to make your hair look a little bit more realistic, right? Then you add your hairs at the end. So many artists I see, they'll try to add the hairs at the beginning, and then they'll mess it up. And then if it's too, you can come back with some yellow on top of it. Just to kind of make them a little bit blonde, right? Like that. Okay. So that's how I would do that picture. So now, now that I look at this drawing, okay, versus this drawing, you'll see what happens when you, now, not saying this doesn't look like her, it still looks like a good picture of her. This one's a little bit more, I don't know, it's a little bit more, this one, it kind of looks, Mick Jagger-ish a little bit. I don't know. But it's still cool, you know what I mean? But it was more with me using the pencil. I was trying to deliberately show you the shapes of the face. But I think that you should, with this one, I feel like I should have done, I would have done it differently from this picture. I like this one right here. This one came out cool. But what I would have done is instead of using the octagon shape, I would have used the oval instead, just so I'll keep it, you know what I'm saying? So you'll start with an oval shape, and then you can cut out what you don't need on this one and put your chin shape here, all right? And then you can come around the shape, and this will make you keep your face rounder, you know what I mean? Like that, you know? So this one might have been like a better idea because it's again more round. But she has such a square down here at the bottom. That's why I just would have. I don't know. I still stand by that. I still think this is the best shape to go by. I just kind of was warming up and it just didn't come out exactly like I wanted it, but that's okay. Yeah. You're not trying to force. You got to realize too, man, that how many ways is there to draw a person? Okay, there's so many. Hey, Jeremy, how are you today? What's going on? All right, let me see. What Jesse asked: is it best to start with lighter colors? Oh, generally speaking, yes. It's going to be better to start with lighter colors, but there are some exceptions to that rule. So, for instance, if I can show you something here. Let's say if I'm doing this, let me see. I'm just going to draw a quick, let me see. Let's say I'm doing something like this. I don't know. I'm just going to draw a quick face here. Okay. I don't even know who this is. This is box top. Huge guy. All right. I'm just make it simple. This is a coloring demonstration. All right. So in this face, maybe, and let me sharpen my pencils that I'm going to be using. Again, guys, if you feel like you're benefiting from the information, man, tips are awesome, man. Thank you so much in advance. This is my full-time job to teach art, so, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so this is obviously a darker color than that. So in some instances, I may use the dark color to put where the darkest shades will go. Okay. 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 Where my darks are going to go in the picture. Then once I do that, I will back off with a color. And then I might use a lighter version of that color to bring everything together, to close the gap between the paper and the color that I'm using. Okay? This comes in great for outlining features of the face you want to kind of stand out, right? Now, once I get there, this is a lighter color, but it's similar. So now I can come back and add this color. And it's not going to ever overpower the color that I have on the paper already. You get what I'm saying? So that might be a situation where you want to start with your darker color first. Okay? But generally speaking, you want to go from light to dark. Yes. Painting and stuff like that, you want to generally work, but you have to, once again, you have to judge things by the situation. Let's come over here. Do I got a crayon in here somewhere? I got a crayon, don't I? I got some crayons. I got plenty of crayons, right? All right, so I got my little crayon, my little Crayola crayon here. And this comes in good, with my hair shape. Again, let's say I'm doing this hair. I might want to say, maybe I want maybe I want this shape here to be dark. Okay. So now, and let's just say I want, now for the rest of it, I might go like this. I might back off. Because that's what I want. I want my hair to have like that kind of a form. So I might bring it down some more here. So I'm trying to find the dimension of the hair. You know what I mean? So I went from a dark to a light. Okay. Just like that. Okay. So hopefully that answered your question for you. All right. So guys, we have time for, what time we got? 109. What time did I start this stream? I don't even remember what time I started. How long have we been here? All right, let me see here. So let's go to our next picture here. I'm gonna pull it up here for you guys on the tube. Okay, let's see here. What's this one here? Wait, I think I did that one already. Where's the one I wanted? I just did that one. I just did that one. Where's that guy at? I think I did him last week, so, but either way. Okay. I don't know if I did her already, but we could try it. Wait, let's get a guy shape. Let's see here. Let me go to my Pinterest real quick. That's a funny picture. All right, let's see. Let's see here. All right, this guy looks like a fun face to draw. Interesting features. All right, so this is where we're gonna go with this one. Yeah, watercolors are pretty tricky to use. You gotta know. It's just basically, those are really just controlling the water, because the water is what makes the color kind of travel around. So, all right, so let's go ahead and do this last picture here. Now, guys, and when we're done, we will do a quick word of the day. That's where I like to share my devotional. I always pray before I start practicing, and I pray when I'm done. And then I like to learn something, because what happens is, for me, what it does is it opens my mind up for the day. It just makes me, get outside of myself for a minute. A lot of times, what holds us back on the drawing board is almost a self-centeredness, and it's something that we're all kind of, I think, is as people, right, as a human being, I would imagine that, and maybe that's not you, maybe you might be the 1% that doesn't ever think about yourself, or doesn't feel, that have moments where you feel like your thoughts are very self-focused. And so, but it's crazy, the more you think about yourself, the more you get closed off to the world, the less you can see, the less you can create. It's a, in scripture it says it's not good for man to be alone, So I don't think you should be alone in not only as a person, but I think alone in your thoughts. If you're a person that likes to sit in their house and just think to yourself all day, and that's a very murky water type of thing. But either way, I always share my word of the day, simply because I feel like it helps people. So anything that's going to help somebody, that's what I like to do with my channel. I don't do all of that negativity stuff. I'm not into it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and we're going to draw this last picture here. I'm going to take this away. I don't think I need this anymore. Let me see here. Actually, let me take this little thing out here. I guess you guys on Instagram, you can be able to see what I'm drawing. Okay. Oh, Tam, Jason, I saw yesterday how people are using vodka on watercolor paper with Crayola pencils. Well, now I'm going to tell you what else works with Crayola pencils really good. Hair grease. Like if you take some Vaseline and you put it on your pencil, have a little napkin, and then you start it on another piece of paper and just rub it around. What it does is it softens your leads up, and it makes your leads, especially with Crayolas, because the Crayolas are already kind of a waxy based crayon, so it'll make it look like it'll give the colors a lot more richer of a color. That might be a trick you might want to try though. All right, so let me see here. Did I take a picture of this? Now, next stream, guys, I'm going to be doing more bodies and stuff. I'm going to practice some caricature bodies. I saw a guy on YouTube, not YouTube, Instagram. His name is Done Drawing. He's a pretty good caricature artist. I really like watching his reveals. I don't know if any of you ever heard of him before, but heck of a caricature artist, man. So I like the way he does his bodies. You know what I mean? I can tell he spends a lot of time practicing that, And whatever you spend a lot of time at, you'll be good, right? All right, let's see here. How would I start this drawing here? I think I'm gonna go with a rounded shape here. So something ovally, definitely something like this would be for his head shape right there. Yeah. So really, it's just. I like to use as least lines as possible. If I can get away with it, I'm not going to use that line if necessary. I don't, unless it's absolutely necessary to the look of the face. And my goal is to get it down to where I think I can do at work. I usually can do a family of 5 people. I think I could do a family of 5 at maybe about, I say 15 minutes. Even if they want color. Yeah. So, yeah. That's what I work to get for efficiency, not like uh, not just drawing lines just because I just feel like I need to draw a line, like those lashes there, right? Those brows, right? Let's go here. Uh, tree leaf shape, tree leaf shape. I know you guys hear my nieces and nephews out there running around screaming. It's he's the my son, his cousins just came over. My sister-in-law came and visited and stuff, so they just having the time of their life, right? And they don't care that I'm streaming right now. They don't care. Yeah, they don't care. Okay. Gosh, I have to always remind myself what shape, especially when it gets to eyes, because sometimes I have to. Much as I teach it in my class, I'm always saying, remember the tree leaf shape, the tree leaf shape, the tree leaf shape. And when I try to draw, when I try to get too fly, you know, it don't come out right. So I always go back to the basics. I got my spinner tops, my tree leaf shapes, and my bowls, right? All right, so this one I'm not going to color in. I'm just going to use some shadows with you guys on this one. Okay, and let me one more card here. Okay. So I think that's it. Okay. A 60-page book on Pinterest of face shapes. That's interesting. What was the link? You have to share the link with me and let me see what you're talking about there, Timmy. Okay, so I think that we are done as far as our faces are concerned, right? Oh, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate you. I didn't even see that there. Just real quick, just wanted to give her an acknowledgement. Tammy Taft, thank you so much for your tip today. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I didn't even see that, so no, I didn't want you to think I didn't see it because I couldn't see my phone, but it just showed me here. So I appreciate that tip for you. Thank you so much. Again, guys, if you feel like you benefited from the stream today and you want to tip, man, that would be awesome. If you're on Instagram, this is our Cash App here. You can tip through there. Or you can go over to YouTube and use the super sticker. If you want to use the super sticker, you prefer to do it that way. Whichever way is pretty cool. All right, so I think, man, that's what I got for you guys today. I don't want to take up your whole Saturday. Man, I got a whole day ahead of me. Okay, thank you, Tammy. I got a whole day ahead, man. I gotta go to work around noon. Well, it's already noon. I usually go in around 2:00, 2:30. And man, I gotta tell you, man, I feel kind of tired today. So I don't know, but usually I'll perk up by the time I get to work. Nothing that a strong cup of coffee won't fix, right? Oh yeah, we got a lot of tip. Okay, right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because Tammy tipped too. So thank you, Tammy, Tammy and Tammy. All right. So let me see here. What else do I? Okay. So we're going to, guys, take a brief intermission here. I think it's about that time for us to start the word of the day. Okay, so let me go ahead and get that stuff ready, and then I will be right back in just a bit. Okay, guys? Give me just a second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So welcome back to the live stream today. I'm going to go ahead and share with you also my devotional. So not only do I like to share the increase that God has blessed me with in order to learn to be a better artist, I also want to share with you how God is developing me spiritually to help me to deal with other areas in my life. I mean, I'm 51 years old. I have 3 small children. Well, I have 4 children in total. My oldest daughter she's 27, and then my children are here. I have a 12-year-old. Me and my wife have a 12-year-old. She's going to be 13. I have my 3-year-old, which is Ethan, and then this book right here is called Jesus is Calling, and it's a devotional, and I like it because it's for kids. So therefore, what we talk about, I like to use things. You know how I teach caricature? I teach you basic stuff, because sometimes when you try to get too complicated, then it goes right over your head. So the concept is, for you guys that are just learning, seeing the way that I teach caricature, is I say, okay, let me teach you how to draw an eye. Okay. And then I'll say, what is that? And you'll say, oh, it's a tree leaf. Okay, well, yeah, it's a tree leaf. And it's also the basis of every single of caricature eye shapes. You can take that shape as your starting point, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff with this shape. Okay? Well, that's the reason that I read my Bible, but sometimes I like to read books that tell me simple stories. I have children's Bibles, you know what I mean, where the story is so clear and precise as to what I'm supposed to get from this story that it doesn't fly over my head. So when I come here, I don't want to come across like I'm like somebody that's trying to judge anyone or anything. This is simply a time, again, of me practicing. This is what I do when I practice. Before I practice my caricatures or artwork at home, before I pick my pen up, I pray and I ask God to give me the vision, give me sight, to take me out so that I can see, to get me my own physical eyes out of the way so that I can see what it is you want me to see. Because we are humans. We have seen and heard things, and sometimes the problem with seeing and hearing things is when you see them and hear them, you can't unsee them. So therefore, they will be a lens by which you view the world as, that you can't see what you're supposed to see, because you got this lens in front of your face of hate, or you got this lens of unforgiveness, or you got this lens of who you think you are, you're an ego-driven person. You think you're really good looking, so you're supposed to command the attention of everybody in the room. Everybody's talking about me. Everybody's judging me. These are all lenses that we look at the world through, and man, it kills creativity. Those are creativity killers. So, again, I share the word of the day with you because this is just how I practice. When I finish my practice, I close out, and then I read scripture, and I say, okay, that's interesting. And now it gives me something, hopefully it'll give you something when you leave here today that you can think about today, instead of thinking about whatever that, that maybe I might be speaking directly to that lens that you look at the world through. And maybe I can help you by doing this together, by coming here and hearing this. Maybe it may inspire you to go past that lens, to not see the world through that particular lens, but to see it through a spiritual lens, right? Because my belief in the way the Bible teaches that spiritual things control physical things. Let me say that again. Spiritual things control that which is physical. So for everything that happens, there's a spiritual law or an unseen law that is responsible for what you are physically seeing. Okay, that's why it says that what you bind on earth, right? What you bind on earth will be loosed in heaven. What you bind in heaven will be loosed on earth, right? Because whatever you do, there's a cause and effect, and therefore we don't ever get away with things. So if you look at your life as a whole, let's just be honest. My brother said this to me the other day that made me think. The situations the place that we find ourselves at in life right now, we're directly, unless it's a tragedy, something like you lost a loved one, you lost your husband, and then you were forced into another situation because of that, that situation, something that was outside of your control. But most times, if you really think about it, you can't think of any time that you're not responsible for where you're at. You know what I mean? You didn't make every choice that you've made in life led you exactly to where you are right now, right? So the great news about God's word is that when you have a spiritual eye, now you can start to have control in your life. You can gain that control back because God tells you that his plans are to prosper you and to grow you and to give you an expected end. So you already know what's going to happen when you do it God's way, but when you do it your way, you kind of open in Pandora's box. And then, whatever you get is what you get. If you get sickness, if you lose friends, if you lose that job, if you lose your apartment, if you find yourself on the street, wherever you find yourself at, a lot of the times you find yourself single, right? You can't find all these type of things happen because we sometimes think that we know everything and we're so smart and we're getting information from the wrong places instead of from the right place, which is the word of God. So I would like for you guys to turn to the book of Psalms. This is where the devotional is coming at for me today, and it's going to the devotional today. It says it's not a suggestion. That's where we're going to be coming from. It's not a suggestion. Okay, so to give you an example of that, the other day I told my daughter to clean her room. Right, and she was like, well, I got something to do, or I'm doing this right now, that right now. And then I looked at her and I said, I didn't make a suggestion. I'm telling you to clean your room right now. Okay, well, this is the way God's word works, because spiritual things, physical things are controlled by the spiritual, and God's not going to change it for me or you or nobody else. If you want to reap the benefits of God's word, then this is not a suggestion. We must develop ourselves mentally and get outside of who we think we are so that we can grow. So in the book of Psalms, it says in Psalm 62, verse 8 is the scripture. It says, trust God at all times. Tell him your problems. God is our protection. I'm going to make that personal for me. Harry, trust God at all times. Harry, tell him your problems. Harry, God is your protection. So when I feel a certain way about something, okay, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling out, I pray and I tell God, this is how I feel today. Today, God, I don't feel like being a good dad. Okay? I don't feel like being a good dad today. I don't feel like being a good husband today. God, I don't feel like going to work today and having to deal with, I'm a caricature artist, so I got to go to work. Today I'm tired. Today I don't feel like it. Today I don't want to be talked rudely to. Today I don't want to have to, talk to people and hear their issues and their problems and all this stuff right here. I don't want to go through that. And every time that I go to God and I tell him my problem, he comes back with his word, because his word, I read it so much that it's implanted in my heart. This is how you know when the word is speaking to you, because it lines up with what you have already studied, right? Just like drawing. How do you know, right? if you're drawing the right thing, well, it's going to line up with what you're studying. This is why when I tell you draw an eye shape, think of a tree leaf. Draw a head shape, think of the shape you want to draw first, and then cut away from the shape that's already been established. Don't try to make up your own shape. Use a shape that's already here for you to use, right? Don't try to think you're so smart that you can break the rule. Use a shape that's already been established. Then take away from that shape to make something similar to what you're trying to draw. It's a very straightforward process. It makes everything clear, right to the point. But when you try to get smart and then do it your own way, then this is what happens. You wind up sketching. You wind up being afraid what people are going to think about it. I came up with something that's never been seen before. Or I want to be like this other artist. This other artist draws it like this, but why can't I? I want to be like them. All of these questions and stuff start coming into your mind. So it says again, I forgot to turn my music off, guys. My bad. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, and I just heard that. I was like, that was God speaking right now. He's like, turn that music off, man. All right, so I'm sorry, guys, that I had that music on while I was talking about the Word of God, too. But let's read that again, then. It says, trust in God all the time. Tell him your problems. God is our protection. Okay? It says here, do not worry about tomorrow. Okay? So his word is telling us, when we get into a situation, number one, go to him with the problem. Number two, know that his word is the remedy for what it is that you're going through. Okay, this gives us a peace and a calm inside to be able to go through, because God, I firmly believe that God doesn't place you or give you something more than you can handle. If you find yourself in the situation, God knows that he's giving you and he's going to equip you with what you need to know to be able to handle the situation. And that's going to be a moment by moment thing. But I believe this when I go through situations, so it causes me not to panic when I draw. I don't think, well, is this person going to like it if I use a tree leaf? Nope. I think this is the shape that I'm going to use because it's been set for, that this is an easy way to see this. Okay, same thing with God. Am I going to care that this person doesn't like me because I'm walking it to that, because I'm doing what's right? They want me to do this with them, right? But that's not. They want me to take advantage of this person over here. They want to sit up and talk about. I remember one time I was at work, and a person walked. One of the guys that worked at one of the places I was at. He walked up, stood beside me. And he looked and he made fun of somebody that was handicapped, right? But he was saying it to me, and he thought that was funny to make fun of that thing, right? But I looked at him, and I told him, I said, I didn't think that was funny, and and did I care whether he liked me or not after that? Well, no, because I'm doing what's right. So it says, don't worry about tomorrow. You're going through this problem. Don't worry about tomorrow. It says this is a command, not a suggestion. It says God has divided time into days for a reason, to make your life easier. So God made days and seasons and all this stuff to cut our life up into little pieces that we could digest. No different than you taking a steak and you eat a piece of it, but you got to cut it. But you don't want to take a whole 10-ounce steak and just stuff the whole steak in your mouth, because you'll probably choke to death, right? So God said, wait a minute, I'm not going to give you the whole steak at one time. I'm not going to make you eat this steak all at one time. I'm going to divide it into pieces for a reason, so that you can chew it up and you can digest it easier. This is the way that I teach This is the reason that I teach the way I teach caricature. I want to break it up into little pieces that you can chew and digest piece by piece. And then eventually your mind will put it all together, and then you can see better. It says, when you pick up the worries of tomorrow and carry them around with you today, it just makes today harder. So you have something you need to be doing today that really needs to get done. But because you cannot live in today, what needs to get done is not getting done. And what needs to get tomorrow won't get done, because this is your mentality every day as you're thinking about 10 years from now. You're thinking, and with the internet, it's no different. They're always talking about invest and your future, and let me tell you how you can get rich tomorrow, and let me tell you how you can get this car, and let me tell you how you can get this. Let me tell you. But what happens if you don't make it to next week? You spent an entire week of your last days on earth worried about something that never even happened to you, a situation you never even got to see. You are worried about. Now, as an older dad, sometimes the devil uses this trick on me. He says, you might not live long enough to see your kids grow up and have kids, because my children are very young. And statistically, 50 years old is kind of up there, right? To be having kids. Statistically. So the devil plays this game with me to worry about that instead of enjoying that I'm holding my son right now. So I didn't get to enjoy now, and I ain't going to get to enjoy it then either. Okay, if that happens, I lost two ways. Do you get what I mean? So today, I'm going to when I'm holding my son and I'm feeding him his bottle, or when I'm playing with my son and we're playing G.I. Joe and playing cars in the living room in the morning, or if I'm taking him for a walk or whatever, I'm going to enjoy this day right now. And I'm not going to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come for me. Remember, that just makes today a lot harder when you think about tomorrow. It says, and it doesn't help tomorrow either at all. So you're not helping tomorrow, because guess what? Tomorrow, when the thing that you worried about, right? Or whatever, let's say you worried about a meeting tomorrow, then you get there, then it's going to be something else that you worried about, because again, this is a mentality that's consuming. It's a fear. You'll generally find this in people that are very fearful people. Fear drives us to do all kinds of crazy stuff. You know how many murders and robberies and all kinds of stuff have been done because of fear? You might look at it and say, oh, they want the money. No, they feared being without money. You get what I'm saying? Or I've seen stories where husbands, I read a story the other day, and it was very depressing for me, with a husband, he took out, basically killed his entire family, right? For no reason. I mean, and it was a fear in him that something wasn't going to be met for him. Life is over for me. I don't have a life. I don't have this. I don't have that. I'm not going to have this. And oh man, the future is so grim that I'm going to go ahead. My future is so grim that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to not only kill myself, but I'm going to do this to my family. A lot of these decisions are fear-based, and they're based off of what God is saying here. He's not asking you not to think about tomorrow. He's not suggesting that you think about tomorrow. He's suggesting that we start thinking like this every day. Stop thinking about what tomorrow brings. Worry about today. It says sometimes you carry around or sometimes we can carry around the worries of next week, next month, or even next year. We're worried about next year, 2025, while we're in 2024. Do you know how many people didn't make it to 2024 that was worried about it in 2023? A lot. It says you stumble and stagger under the weight of worries that God never meant for you to carry. You can't see God, you can't experience God, because you're so busy being afraid of what's going to happen to you. So you're selfish, you're self-centered. We get self-centered We don't truly love other people. How we look at people, how we look at our kids, how we look at our co-workers, how we look at the world is through one sentence, and I think this says it all. Hey, I love me, and I need you to help me do it. Let me say it again. I love me, and I need you to help me do it. You're not really concerned about the welfare of your kids because you just love you and you need your kids to help you do it. So you see your kids as an extension of you. This is why you care about, you say you care about them, but you care about them so that you can do better. Some of us as parents, we try to live our dreams through our kids, never stopping to think that our dreams are not the same dreams. God brought them here for a different purpose. Maybe the chasing of your dream is what got you in the place that you are, where you're hurting inside and you don't know which way is up, and you got all this stuff and you have all these resources, but you still sad inside. You got a nice house, you got all this stuff, but you still don't feel complete. How is it that you can buy anything you want and still feel like garbage inside? This is not a suggestion. This is a commandment from God that we stop with this mentality of what will be and start dealing with what is. It'll open your eyes up. It'll open your creativity up. It'll help you to walk through this life without this weight on your shoulders all the time. It says, don't just let go of your worries, it says. Get rid of them entirely by bringing them to God. So it doesn't mean that you don't have things that you think about, but when it says give them to God, that means in my mind, like, I'm gonna put it like this. I work as as an artist that if I don't draw, I don't eat, right? So to speak. So I think about that sometimes. But when the thought crosses my mind, I say that God is my protection. Trust God all the time. This is the same scripture. Tell him your problem, but mostly trust God all the time. God is my protection. Whether I draw one picture or 50, whether I make $5 or 100, I trust God. He says, be faithful in the little, then he'll bless you with the big. So I don't worry. I'll miss work is to go to my daughter's dance lessons and dance recitals and music performances. And hey man, this is work today, but what about if you don't make it? What's money out there? It's money out there. It's money out there. Raise up a child in the way you'll have them go, and then when they get older, they will not depart from me. You see, my kids are not mine. My kids are a blessing to me from the Lord. They are his kids. I don't need my kids to help me to feel validated. I need God to help me feel validated. I'm here for a purpose. My purpose is to be a father. I can only be their father because God blessed me with them. That's the reason. That's the way that I see them. I see them like as a gift. I don't see them as a burden. I don't see them as any of that. I say, when I don't want to get up in the middle of the night because he's crying, I say, God, thank you for this gift to get up and care for this child tonight, your child. Thank you that you entrusted me, right? Could you imagine somebody that you love and care about and everything, right? Or, somebody come up to you and they entrust you with something they never told anybody else, or they give you something they've never given to anybody else. Well, when you have that relationship with God, this is how you feel when you get $5. God could have gave this $5 to anybody else, and he gave to me. The other day I went to the store and I needed some pest stuff for my lawn. There was one bottle left. I said, man, that must be, God just knew I was coming here because this is the last one on the shelf. Man. And it opens you, it makes, it's just, it's awesome to feel and know that God, you have a God that cares about you and knows what your needs are. He cared about me all the way down to the last bottle on that shelf. So I think about everything like this. It says, get rid of them, your worries again, and entirely by bringing them to me. It says, then concentrate on my presence with you today. Concentrate on his presence with you today. He's always with you. He'll never leave you, never forsake you. But when you got an ego, you start seeing things as an extension of yourself, and then you get scared to lose everything because you feel like you're going to lose you. But when it never belonged to you in the first place, you ain't got nothing to lose. It ain't yours. My kids, that's not my kid. These are the God's kids I've been entrusted with. This woman that I'm married to is straight from heaven. God gave, he says, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. He receives blessing from the Lord. I've been blessed. I've been gifted a wife. Right? I've been gifted a car to go to work in. I've been gifted a house to be able to live in. Right? Yeah. I've been gifted with food on the table. I've been gifted with these things. This is how you concentrate on the presence of God. The presence is when you understand what I mean. You got something's always being done in your favor. You start thinking like you hit the lottery every day. With just the smallest thing is a big thing to you. Today, somebody, thank you, Cartoon Mark. I appreciate you. He just gave me $3. Man, I'm thankful for that $3. Get what I'm saying? Because he didn't have to do that. God had to touch him. There's all kinds of God already did. He already is doing and providing. He's already on the phone with the people that I need to talk to. He's already talked to the people at work that I need to draw today. So if whoever tells me no, I'll be like, okay, right? Oh, I must have went to the wrong, because God's going to bring it. Yes, one day I went to work the other day, and I'm going to tell you what happened. I walked in and said, man, it was a Wednesday, and I was sitting there. It's kind of slow, and things have been kind of slow. I walked in. I said, well, I'm gonna go in here. And so when I walked in, a man walked up to me. I didn't ask nobody nothing. He just walked in. He was sitting at the bar area. He says, hey, what is that you do? I says, I draw pictures. He says, I was looking for you. I said, you were looking for me? He says, yes, I was looking for you specifically. I saw you about 3 weeks ago, and I've been looking for you. And you know how many people told me this? That means God was already on the phone. He was like, you, on this day, at this time, when Harry needs it, you're going to provide this. He already spoke to their heart. I didn't have to do anything. That's the God that I serve. Now, it says, I will give you all that you need, taking care of you and helping you with your problems. I will give you all that you need, take care of you, and helping you with problems. You see, our thing sometimes is that we're going through something that's specific to us. We're all human beings. We all have problems. The Bible says there's nothing, our problems are not specific to us. The devil uses the same thing on everybody. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He uses it on everybody. You're not specific. He uses the fear of death. He makes you get attached to, let me tell you how he do it. It's a game they play. We used to call it what do they call it? Well, I can't say those words on the stream, but when we were in when I was incarcerated, they would have this game, and the game was somebody would approach you, especially if you was neutral, you wasn't in a gang or nobody knew you. they already want to take advantage of you. So they'll come up to you and they'll put you in a situation where it seems like you're fearing for your life. And then they'll send the guy at you to get you out of that situation, thinking, man, this person is here to help me, but the whole time he's the one that's in on it with everybody. And the devil do this all the time. He'll send a problem, he'll create the problem so that he can solve it for you. Oh, you need money. You willing to do anything right now? You willing to sell pictures of your feet? Are you willing to sell pictures of yourself? You willing to sell your body? You know what I'm saying? Are you how bad do you really want it? But I got an opportunity for you. So he'll create what seems in your mind to be a lack, and then he'll come to you with something that'll bring you out of that lack that is outside, so the devil can bless you too. What you think is a blessing, he'll come to you now. He'll say, "Okay, you want to sell? Maybe you sell some drugs. Maybe we can start a fake what they call them companies, the fake investment company. Maybe we can start one of those and defraud millions of people out of their life savings. Maybe we can do something like that. Maybe we can go kill some people, right? You got to do some contract killing. We can mess all kinds of stuff. And guess what? The best thing about it is you ain't going to get caught, because I got a plan for that too. This is what he do. But God says, I will give you all you need, taking care of you and helping you with your problems. It says, then tomorrow, it says, God will do it all over again. Trust God. So today is today. I'm encouraging you today to trust God today. Start today. Think about it today. Understand you're blessed today. Everything you're going to be needing and all your needs are being met today. And then tomorrow when you wake up, stay in tomorrow. Stay in that day. Stay in that moment, because the thing is, listen, when you really think about it, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, and we're going to close out the word of the day. The only thing that you really have in this life is right now. Because right now is happening right now. You don't have yesterday, and you don't have tomorrow. You don't have the next 30 seconds. You only possess what is going on literally at the moment that is going on, because you can see it. It's in your hands. It's right there. Do what is best. Appreciate. Let me take that back. Appreciate right now. You have been blessed with another moment to live. And when you do that, guess what? You're building memories that can help you when you get into moments later on in life where you may have a problem or a situation, right? You can look back on how you enjoyed your moments, how God was there with you in the moment. All those moments that you're listening, that you took each moment and you said, okay, I'm going to treasure this moment. Okay, I'm going to appreciate this $5. Okay, I'm going to appreciate that I talked to this person in the store. I'm going to appreciate that this person let me get over in traffic. I'm going to appreciate everything. When you get down and something happened later on down the road, you'll look back on your test. You'll look back and say, man, I remember when God let that person do this. I remember that. I remember this. I remember that. And it'll bring you out. It'll make you appreciate that moment that you win so much more. So guys, that's our word of the day. It's not a suggestion. It's not a suggestion. It's a commandment. Live for right now. Appreciate your right now, and stop crying about what you don't have or what you need to have or what, and worrying about all that stuff, because you might not never get to that situation, and then you just wasted life. Okay, so that's our word of the day, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I don't know if you don't have a relationship with God, if you're curious about this, but maybe you've heard so many conflicting views about different things. With again, God is not a God of confusion. The devil is the author of confusion. He wants you to be confused, because as long as you confuse, and how he brings about confusion is by making you think about all of these possibilities, right? That you know that and understand at the back of your mind, you know that you don't have any control over. I get people all the time that'll approach me through my email and say, I can show you a way to get more views if we can just sit down and talk and do this. My company specializes in making people go viral and all kinds of stuff, right? And I'll kindly send them right to trash, because God is all that I need. He is the provider. And at the end of the day, this person can't guarantee, nobody walking on two legs can guarantee you nothing. They can't guarantee you nothing. They just saying that. If it ain't come from the word of God, it's going against the word of God, they can't guarantee you nothing. They're just talking. So if that's you and you want me to pray with you today, because you want to experience God, you want to experience Jesus Christ, you want to experience Him today, and you want me to pray with you, or you like for me to pray with you, I'm Harry. I'm just Harry, and I'm just a guy. That I'm not a pastor. I'm not any of that. I'm just a brother that would pray with you, and and help to intercede for you, to help you to take your first step into that relationship that you're longing for with God. So if you want me to pray with you today, I don't have any problem with doing that, or pray for you. Maybe you're going through something and you like to have some prayer today. I'll just take just a moment here. Maybe I'll take about a moment here just to stop and let you guys, if you're typing something you want me to pray with you about, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. Okay. All right, guys. So I see everybody's good here. So we're going to go ahead and pray. Thank you, God. Thank you, Father, for your word today. On this Easter weekend, we just really appreciate you, and we love you. And we thank you for the sacrifice you made for us on the cross. To give life of your only begotten Son so that we may live. We thank you for your word, your commandment of us to not live in tomorrow, but to live in each moment that you give us, that you bless us with, that you gift us with. Thank you for your word of showing us that in those moments, when we follow your commandment, we will begin to see your hand working in our life. Our life will no longer be mundane and lifeless and stale and meaningless, because we will see how much you love and care about us in each moment, in each day that you bless us to be here on this earth. So, God, it is my prayer today that someone received your word and that they come to you, they experience you, they say yes to you today. It is also my prayer that they have the willpower, the inner strength to let go of who they believe themselves to be and what they believe and all the suggestions of the enemy, and truly receive what you have for them. It is in Jesus' mighty name that I pray. Amen. So, guys, thank you again. I appreciate you. You guys be blessed on this Saturday, and I will see you guys in the next live stream, which will be Wednesday. So thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time.